Hey guys, so I'm sure you've heard of Trump's recent decision to not allow transsexuals to serve in the army, and personally, I agree with this. Now, typically, I'd be like, people should have the right, like, of any gender or race, etc., obviously, to join the military, serve their country, etc. But when it comes down to people like transgender people, that's a little different because this is essentially mental illness. Like, they don't allow people with bipolarism, they don't allow people with schizophrenia, etc., to join the army. So why would they allow somebody with transgenderism, like gender dysphoria, to enter the army, right? Like, that's just a liability. That's just an extra cost. Like, not even if you don't even include them wanting to have the government pay for the surgery, if it's just you're just taking the cost that they're most likely going to commit suicide, or they have a higher chance already. They're gonna what, go to the army, get PTSD, come back, and have like what, 100% chance of committing suicide. So it doesn't seem to me like you're going to be doing these people any favors by sending them to the army and to the war. And secondly, everybody's like, oh, transsexuals can't participate in the war. Like, the unjust wars that you're in right now, essentially. Like, this, like, you're bitching about, everybody's bitching about this, like a non-issue that affects a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of percent of the people. They're bitching about them not being allowed to go to the Middle East and etc. to, you know, pretty much kill like brown people, right? So and fight unjust wars. Like, why aren't people bitching about that? Like, who the fuck cares about these stupid non-issues, right? And like I said before, I agree with it. They shouldn't allow them in. They have a mental disorder. Like, do you want your backup shooting himself in the head and then not showing up to defend you when you need to? No, you don't want that. And secondly, it just doesn't look very good when you have like a general that's dressed up like a woman meeting like a fucking foreign different diplomat from like the Middle East. They're gonna be like, what the fuck? you know, like like, okay, like, I think that's going a little too far. And I don't care what people do. I don't care if people dress up the way they want and, get surgeries and stuff. But when it comes to the military, it's a little different. And when it comes to them now saying, hey, I want the government to, provide this surgery for me, etc. So that, that's also a problem. And it's just a whole host of other issues. And I'm not even sure. I think women should serve in the army, honestly. Like, maybe, but I'm not sure if it's really the best thing because, in a squad, the guy often will end up, when it's a bunch of guys, they work differently together than when there's women involved. And I don't know. I guess there's examples like of Israel where it works well, where they have, a men and women. So I could be wrong about that. But yeah, I completely agree with this decision, and he's not, turning anything back because it was never legal for transgender people to serve openly in the army anyways. Like, Obama approved of a policy that got overturned by Mattis like this year or last year. So it was never, he's not taking anything away, right? So stop freaking out. And it's not a big issue either. Like I said before, it's affecting like a fraction of the population. Who cares? Worry about the unjust wars that are being fought in the Middle East instead of like, people with mental illnesses serving in the army, right? But this is all I pretty much had to say. And if you like my content, subscribe and have a good day. See ya.